Why not?
The first time I stepped into this room was back in 1989 when I was assigned here as a probation officer trainee. It was my first encounter with the probation bureau office, and what I first saw was very depressing and sad. When I got home that night, I told my parents I don't think I'm going to come back. I ultimately decided to stay because I found the work with the clients very fulfilling. But I never forgot the first impression of this waiting room. I ultimately, the room sent a clear message. The message was probation doesn't care about clients. And if probation doesn't care about clients, why should clients care about probation? I'm glad to say that our new resource hub makes a different impression. And it's also making a difference in the work that we do here. For more on that, I would like to introduce to you guys Probation Officer Pamela Phillips.
Good morning, everyone. Not too good, I have a big mouth. All right, good morning and hi. I am Pamela. I've been calling myself the Resource Queen lately, the Resource Hub Queen. Before I begin, I just would like to acknowledge some people that are in my 210 Drownman Street Family Resource Hub. I want to start off by introducing or give acknowledgement to Princess SPO Regina Canty. Where are you? Princess SPO Allison Cummings, but she's not, I don't think she's able to be here today. Yes, I have to acknowledge her. Princess PO Rebecca Dixon, we have to make acknowledgement for her. And Princess Patricia Howard. Patricia, where's she at? She's in the, I'll be there.
She's at the station.
Yeah, station, okay. And where is my king? My resource king, Mr. Wendell King. And his last name is King, and I'm not joking. I just want to say, I'm not going to let you go. I just want to say this. He's a king that rules nothing. I don't rule anything, but I'm saying this in a good way. He gives me my way all the time. When we were here debating different areas of the room, he would throw his hands up in the air. He'll stand up like a king at first, and he'll look around. He'll debate with me back and forth. Eventually, he holds his hands up and walks away and say, do what you want, do what you want. I love a man that gives me the way I want. Love it, love it. And last but not least, we have here a person who has my back in the field. And he said that he's going to have my back in the resource hub. My Prince Paul Leone, my partner. I want to publicly let everyone know that you said you're going to help me. He said this in the squad car, but I'm letting it be known that you said you was going to help me.
There was no microphone in the squad.
But Paul, Prince Paul, thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, I would like to make a acknowledgement to my former BC, Rodney Levy, who last year told me, Pam, come, I have some project I want to get you involved in. I'm like, what is it? He tells me, you're going to love it, it'll fit your personality. And thank you. Where is he at? Thank you, BC. You were right. And last but not least, my present BC, Alicia Triller. I affectionately call her Mama Triller. I'm her oldest daughter. And I just want to tell her, thank you for allowing me the time to put into this project. Okay? Thank you so much. And the demands that it met. As you can see, I am very excited about the space and the potential. To see, just to come over during report day and sit with us for a few minutes and you can see the difference. Before the Resource Hub, it seemed like half of the clients were asleep and the other half were on their phones. I'm not going to tell you sleeping and texting on the phones have changed or have gone away. But there's no question that the general mood is much more upbeat. Clients are using the computers, they are watching TV, and they're reading books. And they're getting up and talking to the community-based providers we bring in. This isn't only good for the clients, it is also good for us as POs and SPOs. For one thing, the clients are in a much better mood when they come back and see us. They are also informed, which means we can have a smoother and productive conversation about their goals and what their needs are to reach their goals. And what's really exciting is that the Resource Hub isn't even operating full stream ahead. No, it's really not even operating full steam yet. In the coming months, we're going to be bringing in more local resources and implementing new strategies to keep our clients engaged. Take it from the Queen. It's going to be awesome. Thank you.
Well, it's a little hard to follow royalty, but I'll do my best. I'm going to begin with a quote from Jay-Z's new book, Decoded. I've used it a lot of times before, but now that we're in Brooklyn, I just can't resist. It's his home borough. What he said was, in places like Marcy, Brooklyn, there are people who know the ins and outs of government bureaucracies, police procedures, and sentencing guidelines, who spend half their lives in dirty waiting rooms on plastic chairs, waiting for somebody to call their name. But for all this involvement, the government might as well be the weather, because a lot of us don't think we have anything to do with it. We don't believe we have any control over this thing that controls us. That passage for me gets to the heart of what the Resource Hubs are all about. When you look beyond this fantastic paint job, the cool computers, the inspiring posters and the vibrant furniture, and the TVs showing material that's customized to clients' needs and interests, this space and the two other hubs we've opened in Manhattan and Queens is really about letting our clients know that probation's not something to be waited out, a mindless chore to be accomplished. This room makes it clear that a big part of our job is providing clients with the opportunities and the hope, and we expect them to take advantage of it. The Resource Hub was truly a collaborative effort, which means I have a lot of people to thank. I'm going to begin with the Waiting Room Improvement Team, which provided the intellectual blueprint for this and every Resource Hub we're creating. The team was composed of DOP staff and clients and led by the brilliant and dedicated Dr. Laura Kurgan, who's an associate professor of architecture at Columbia University and the director of their Spatial Information Design Lab. The team's impact is reflected in ways seen and unseen, from the greeter, who stands behind here, to the way the room's laid out. Next, I'd like to thank people who took that initial intellectual blueprint and turned it into an actual blueprint. We're really grateful to Bieber and Associates for designing our Resource Hubs. Jim, Suzanne, and the entire Bieber team. Let's give it up for them. These guys are blue chip talent, but they have a work ethic like they're a startup, scrappy startup. They have gone light years beyond the call of duty and lending their considerable talents to the project, and I just hope they spend all the good karma they've earned wisely. Speaking of blue chip talents, the posters I've seen many of you admiring were designed by James Victoria, the phenomenally talented graphic designer. Over there, over there, over there, hooked around here, over there. These posters obviously look really cool, but my favorite thing about them is how they don't talk down to the clients. The messages are smart, they're intriguing, they're engaging, and they're to the point. I'm happy to announce you'll each be getting your own poster at the end of this morning's ceremony. We're also really proud of the touchscreen computers, which aren't your normal PC. The interface was created by Hunter College's Dr. Harriet Goodman and Shasha Fang, who also conducted focus groups and interviews with staff and clients to figure out how to get the most out of the computers and monitors. If you have some time after the event, be sure to check them out. They're full of resources that can help people turn their lives around. Treatment, education, workforce development. It's easy to use. You don't have to be a computer expert, which our clients very often aren't, and it's sort of very kind of graphically appealing. I'm also thrilled about the help we've gotten from DCAS Commissioner Edna Wells Hendy. I don't think she's here yet.
She's here.
Oh, there she is.
Here's the landlord.
Excellent. Yep. Every time I looked over by your troops over there, that's what. Every time we've opened a Resource Hub in a DCAS building, her staff has gone out of their way to accommodate our requests, and we had a bunch of requests. As you said, we can't radically transform a room without the landlord's help. So thank you very much. Speaking of our partners within city government, I want to give a huge shout out to my boss, Deputy Mayor Linda Gibbs. Linda wasn't able to make today's event. She sent some folks from her staff. But if it wasn't for her interest in and support of this initiative, we wouldn't be here today. I'd also like to thank the United Probation Officers Association, which represents many of our staff members. In fact, a number of the Brooklyn delegates are here with us today. Elaine Brookins Sutton, Paul Leone, Valentine DeBofu, James Green, and David Henley. The UPOA worked closely with us, and we're very grateful for their cooperation. And lastly, but certainly not least, I want to recognize Lonnie Tanner, Executive Director of Sea Change New York City, an initiative of the Mayor's Office and the New York City Department of Design and Construction. I guess we could have somehow managed to create the resource hubs without her. They wouldn't have looked nearly as cool and wouldn't have been really as outside the box as they ended up being. It was Lonnie who connected us with Jim Bieber, James Victoria, and many other artistic, committed people who contributed their talents and time to the Neon Resource Hub. Her energy and commitment are legendary here at DOP, and I can't wait to hear what she thinks of it. I could go on, but we're lucky to have some very distinguished folks in the house this morning, so I'm going to pass the mic and let them say a few words. First up is the man who is second only to Jay-Z when it comes to Brooklyn icons, our friend and neighbor, Marty Markowitz, Brooklyn Borough President.
Behind Jay-Z any day of the week. It's okay. That's fine with me. Anyway, let me thank you for inviting me. I had a long trip to get here, by the way, across the street, for those of you who don't know, at Brooklyn Borough Hall. And Commissioner, if I may, I want to give a special thanks to our landlord, both your landlord and my landlord, Edna Bells Handy. Thank you for your outstanding service. You're the only landlord in my whole life I really loved. You know what I mean? I must tell you that. Commissioner, thank you. And let me really give a salute to all the probation officers here. You don't have the easiest job in the world. I know that. We know that. And you do your work to the best of your ability every day. And having this hub now, I think will be a step, making it a step easier for you. I know that over the course of my life, when a place is kept dirty, and not sparkling clean, I notice that folks that visit that space tend to keep it dirty. It's true. And when you go into an institution or an organization that the floors are sparkling, you'd be surprised how it continues to sparkle, because folks respond that way. And transferring that to this, when your clients come in here, the coloring, the warmth, you can feel it. It gives them a more positive attitude. And let's face it, a positive attitude is what they need to make something of their lives. And that's what this is all about. So it's a beautiful posters and everything else, the TVs, the computers. There's one objective here. We want your clients to be fully productive members of our Brooklyn community, of New York City, and the United States of America. Many of them have great skills and great abilities. And you know and I know they have to be polished, nurtured, polished, and continue to get that self-respect and self-esteem. So finally they break out of the challenges they've had and move ahead and become fully productive. So congratulations, Commissioner. I love going to nice things, I have to tell you. It's such a pleasure, it really is. And put a smile on your face, ladies and gentlemen. Brooklyn, I got to tell you, although we have challenges in a number of neighborhoods, big time, that is for sure. Overwhelmingly, this borough has really never done better in decades and generations. Thank you all. Do you.
You get to stand for a second, I'm going to show you something. I meant to pull this up during my comments, but here, no, stay. This is what it used to look like.
Wow.
This is the before picture, folks, so you can all see that. And it was really a place to send a message, as was said earlier. We don't care about you. Not that we're just here to hug people, but we want them to turn their lives around. We want it to be a professional approach, and so now you can see the difference.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Next up is Judge Barry Kamens. He has been incredibly supportive of our efforts as we move. Every time we meet, we don't agree on every single thing, but when we agree, we rock and roll together, and I just really want to tell the judge how much I appreciate him. Ask him to come speak and say a few words today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to join Commissioner Schiraldi, our great Borough President, Marty Markowitz, members of the Department of Probation, guests, for the opening of this Brooklyn Adult Resource Hub. The courts and the Department of Probation are longtime partners, as the Commissioner said, in the criminal justice system, and we are pleased to celebrate such a dynamic new program. The transformation of the waiting room here at 210 Joralemon is a symbol of the changing face of the Department of Probation, and indeed the changing face of the state and government. And I recall many years ago when I was in private practice coming up here with a client, and the change is just, it really is staggering, I must admit. And in these challenging economic times, the Department of Probation, like the courts and other partners in government, has been tasked with doing more with less. And we are all doing our utmost to maximize existing resources. This waiting area has, with the generous help of many, been repurposed into an inviting space where clients can use their time effectively, learning about opportunities while waiting for probation appointments. With this space and with its knowledgeable staff, the Department of Probation is maximizing opportunities to improve client outcomes. These innovations have one purpose: to help clients successfully complete their probationary terms and become, as the Borough President said, contributing members of society. Connecting clients with community-based organizations is really vital to moving individuals out of the courts, out of the criminal justice system, and into productive educational and employment opportunities. And these goals certainly are shared by the courts, and we want probationers to be part of the solution to their own and society's problems. And innovations such as this resource hub will help to achieve those goals. So congratulations and thank you very much.
So the judge mentioned, doing more with less, and I've never met a person in government that could turn a nickel's worth of government money into a dollar's worth of resources any better than Lonnie Tanner from the Department of Design and Construction. Lonnie, can you come on up and tell us how you do that,
Okay, I'm a crier. I'm going to burst out crying any minute. I run a new mayoral initiative called Sea Change NYC, and the goal is to improve the experience at the places where the public go for city services. Of course, probation is one of those places, senior centers, shelters, public housing, you name it, we're doing it. And I pray that we can do more in Brooklyn. This is a labor of love. I am going to start crying. This is our 7th site, and it could not be done without the extraordinary help of probation. I can't tell you how much I admire their dedication and passion to doing something that very few agencies want to do, which is make a room something special, and not just the room, but change the lives of the people that enter that room. You can't ask for somebody better to work with than the people I have worked with here. And I'd like to just thank a couple of people also that have really changed my life in making these kinds of things happen, because these were done in record time. It shows also that a city can move very rapidly when they want to do something. So please enlist us to do more of these kinds of places. The other thing that I really am trying to do is to make things affordable and replicable. And in these times, we need to do that. We need to figure out ways to use our resources better and get more places like this where people feel good about where they are and what they do. Michael Forte, you rock my world. I say this in every event, but you have no idea what it takes behind the scenes to get something like this done. Bill Haratopoulos. We were here till midnight many nights. Pam Phillips, who knows that. Wesley, who knows that too. We've sat here, I'm going to start crying. Heart and soul went into this, but I also want to thank, oh my God, DCAS, rock my world too. You make stuff happen in ways that I could not do my job without them. They call me back nights and weekends, Saturday, anytime. You can't ask for a better partner. But the people I really want to thank that are here today is, and they were thanked but not properly, is Bieber Architects, which is Bieber & Co. And Jim Bieber, I'd like you to stand up, because nobody has put more energy into this effort than Jim. Changed the way this place functions. And he has donated thousands thousands of hours. Much of what you see here is donated. Many people have donated to this commitment to make Brooklyn a safer place for all, a better place for all, this room a better for all. And I'm sorry I'm taking so long, but I'm deeply moved by the work that we're all doing. Next up is Bronx. We just finished 3 sites. We're overhauling old city furniture. We're doing everything that you can think. We're doing gaming for learning that's going to come up in all of these centers too. He doesn't know that yet, but we're really trying to make use of the spaces that we've made. Let's do more of this, please. Let's clap and say we're going to do more. I want to hear everyone say we're going to do more of this.
You just never know what you're going to get when Lonnie comes up to the mic. So the physical plant stuff is obvious and easy to see. The TVs, the computers, the beautiful paint, the rugs. Less hard, but definitely not less important, is the interaction and relationship with programs and the clients. So the next 2 speakers are going to talk a little more about that. First up is Diane Stroud, Managing Representative from Fidelis Care. And Diane's going to sort of represent all the different programs. Are going to set up shop in here, on a rotating basis so that clients can come and meet with them and learn about their programs and access the kind of services they need from them. Diane?
Good morning, family. Thank you. I am a marketing representative for Fidelis Care. Fidelis, as you may or may not know, is one of the managed health care plans in New York State, which provides health services for individuals, for families, and for children. And I have to thank the Department of Probation for having the wisdom and insight to embrace us in partnership, knowing that there's a need for that proverbial village to come together to help get these clients where they need to be. And primary and pivotal is the state of your health. And I don't care whether we're talking about clients, whether we're talking about POs, whether we're talking about commissioners, administrators, it's important for everyone. Taking off my Fidelis hat for a hot second. As a nutritional consultant and fitness trainer, I see people every day who would give me stacks of money for a day, just a day of good, vibrant health and wellness, just for feeling excited about what they do, instead of dragging themselves through the day, wreaking havoc on the lives of those who they encounter with the best of intentions. But if you're not feeling well, it just doesn't happen. So if we're going to get our clients to where they need to be, one of those moments. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having the wisdom and insight to incorporate our services so we can bring those clients where they need to be. One more thing I just want to say. It doesn't discriminate between age, race, class, color. It doesn't care what rings, shoes, suits, dresses you wear. It doesn't care where you live. It's the #1 killer disease of all Americans in this country. It will kill the lives of this many people in this room in the next 10 years. Somebody tell me what that is. Stress adds to it. Obesity adds to it. Somebody say that. Heart disease. Heart disease will kill more Americans than any other disease in this country. And it's a silent killer. So how do we know whether we're 10 beats away, 200 beats away, 10,000 beats away from that symptom, that one symptom that's usually the one and only symptom that we get, which is that first heart attack that we may or may not come back from? How do we know? By taking yourself to your doctor, taking yourself to your cardiologist, checking to see if your heart, your blood vessels are doing what they're supposed to do. The only way we're going to know if we have that is if we have the ability to be able to go to a doctor. We're all entitled to it. So Fidelis services with no cost and low cost health coverage for those who qualify. So please, if you know of anybody who is not working, who is underemployed, student, emancipated young person, someone whose COBRA has run out, let them know I'm in this wonderful room on Tuesdays. I get the privilege of being able to experience this beautifully transformed space. I'm here on Tuesdays. Send them to me. I'd be glad to let them know whether they qualify and get them enrolled so they can use the services. Thank you once again, Department of Probation. Thank you.
So our final speaker is at the end, but not because he's the least important. In fact, it's quite the contrary. Anthony Torres is a 22-year-old Park Slope resident who's also a probation client. This resource hub was created for him and other folks that come on probation. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it.
Okay. Hi, my name is Anthony Torres. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been on probation for 4 years, and it hasn't always been a lot of fun. But lately, it has been getting a lot better, thanks to my PO, Ms. Phillips. Ms. Phillips really cares about me and has been trying hard to get me a job. I'm currently working with Wildcat, which is providing me with employment trainings and connections to companies that are looking for help. I'm excited about New Resource Hubs because it's a place where I can look up job opportunities on the computer, watch interesting shows on the TV, or read about local programs. Now I feel like I'm on track to achieve my bigger goal, which is working as landscaping or demolition contractor. I still have a long way to go, but it doesn't seem as far when I have people like P.O. Phillips helping me out.
All right, it's ribbon cutting time. Stay up. Everybody who spoke, please come on up. Hello. Everybody in church.
Should be right on.
All right, we left the big ceremonial scissors at home. Jim, come on up.
We have a big.
I think we can use a representative from the district attorney's office. Sure. Why don't we splay out this way? See what's going on over here.
Then you're not there.
Melanie?
Come on in. Melanie, where are you?
Melanie!
Come on, Mel. Come on, just join us. All right, you guys ready?
Oh, yes. Wait.
We gotta get the money shot here, guys.
Don't squeeze in, come on.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. My last one of these, I'll get that done.